You are watching Luntha television and it's time for news. My name is Helbert. First, let's have a look at our top stories. The Catholic Church leader, Pope Francis, offers October's prayer intention. Malawi Police Service cracks down on hate speech in the run-up to the 2025 elections. Malawi may miss MIP1 implementation target at 2045. And in news from elsewhere, Rwanda reports 8 deaths linked to Marburg virus. We have these and more other stories to stay tuned in. The Catholic Church leader, Pope Francis, has released his monthly prayer intention for the month of October 2024, which stems at a shared mission. In a video which is entrusted to the entire Catholic Church through the Pope's Worldwide Prayer Network, the Catholic Church leader has invited the Church to pray for unity and collaboration. Pope Francis' video message also emphasizes his invitation to each and every Christian to work together, talking the path of synodality. We have the details.
Regardless of one's career or working life, Pope Francis underlines that the mission is the same, namely that of witnessing with one's own life, everyone contributing what they know how to do best. The Holy Father suggests that in this way, people work together in this co-responsibility. In the video, Pope Francis clarifies that priests are not the bosses of the laity, but their pastors, and stresses how Jesus calls upon us all to complement one another. With this spirit, the Holy Father calls on all baptized people in the Church at all levels to remember how the Church is their main home, and therefore reminding them of their responsibility to take care of it. Pope Francis concludes by praying that the Church continue to sustain a synodal lifestyle in every way as a sign of co-responsibility, promoting the participation, communion, and mission shared by priests, religious, and the laity.
The Catholic Church in Malawi has today inaugurated the October Mission Month, which is marked by Rosary and the propagation of faith. The Church instituted this special month of October to give Catholics a chance to hold daily Rosary prayers, praying for their needs, the needs of the Church, and the world at large. The Pontifical Mission Societies also uses the same month to advocate for the missionary work across the world, urging Christians to recognize themselves as missionary disciples, working and praying together to share the joy, peace, hope, and love of God. The main event was held on Tuesday at St. Joseph Chipanya Parish in the Diocese of Dedza, where Right Reverend Peter Adrian Chifugwa, Bishop of the Diocese, was the main celebrant. We have the details.
Yes, so today we launched during this Eucharistic celebration, especially the 2 responsibilities that we Catholics have. The first one is the praying of the Rosary, that we Catholics are known for praying the Rosary. However, it's not everybody who prays the Rosary. So this month of October, the Church instituted this month to be the month of the Rosary. So we encourage one another that each and every day we have to celebrate, to pray the Rosary. And if you remember properly, the Rosary is associated with praying for world peace, for peace in our communities. So we must learn to pray for this peace. But also the Rosary is associated with praying for the people who don't go to church, so that, by God's grace, they may go back to church. So hence, it's very important that we pray the Rosary. And also, secondly, our responsibility as Christians is to be generous with our offerings to the church. Because for the church to evangelize, it is in need of a lot of wealth, in money and so many things. Because this money is needed for training of priests, training of sisters, catechists, brothers. We need these people to spread the good news. But also we need so many infrastructures, and this is the money that we need. Currently, we may not be depending on other people from overseas, because the church there also is changing, because these people who understood their responsibility are dying out, and the young generation that is coming in is struggling to understand their duty. So we must generate from ourselves the money and the resources that we need, so that the church can really spread the good news. Yes, I also indicated that parents should also motivate their children to pray the rosary. Because nowadays, so many people are pointing out this gap, parenting gap, that parents may be so religious, but they are leaving their children, but they are not motivating their children to move with them in their devotions. So I encourage the parents there that they should encourage and see to it that their children are also praying the rosary. Their children are also following their examples, the devotions, everyday devotions, their love of Christ that they show in everyday life. So, because this is the church for tomorrow, there will be future Christians. So for them now to be reliable Christians, they need to start now, being devoted to Christ in their own way.
Indeed, the month of October in the Catholic Church is very important, because it's the month we are called to intensify our prayers through the intercession of our Blessed Virgin Mary. And also it's a month all the Christians are called to pray a special novena to Pauline Marie Jalibot, who is the founder of the Pontifical Society of the Propagation of Faith, that promotes missions month and also Mission Sunday. And also it's very important because the church benefited a lot from the collection of Mission Sunday. All the dioceses, all the schools, even all the convents and the fathers' houses are the fruits of Mission Month and also Mission Sunday.
Right, Reverend Bishop Adrian Chifugwa, the Bishop of the Diocese, and Right, Reverend Father Peter Madea, PMS National Director. A Democratic Progressive Party Deputy Secretary General Daud Shigwanje on Monday drew fire from the Malawi Police Service and political commentators over alleged violent remarks that could incite hatred and chaos. The video shows Shigwanje encouraging his followers to attack and kill opponents by setting them ablaze, sparking widespread outrage. Police have since arrested Shigwanje. In a statement issued on Monday, the Malawi Police Service warns politicians and those in authority against making sensitive statements that promote violence. Emmanuel Chuocha reports.
Luntha Television, MPS National Public Relations Officer Peter Kalaya confirmed Shigwanje's arrest has been charged with proposing violence contrary to Section 86 of the Penal Code.
Yes, it is true that as a service we have arrested Mr. Daud Shigwanje, a member of parliament in Machinga, for what he said at a political rally there, where he was inciting his followers into violence. There is a video clip that is circulating on social media where the MP is seen encouraging his supporters to attack and kill supporters of another political party by setting them ablaze. As a service, we would like to take this opportunity to warn all politicians in the country to desist from inciting violence or making insensitive statements when they are carrying out their campaigns. Inciting followers into violence is against the greatest law of the land, the Constitution, and as a service we will not hesitate but to arrest and bring to book anyone found doing that.
MPS aims to ensure a peaceful election scheduled for September 16, 2025. Malawi Police Service reminded citizens that inciting violence is a crime as provided for by Section 87 of the Penal Code. The Constitution under Section 30 and 40 guarantees the inalienable freedom of association and political rights to all citizens. MPS vows to arrest and prosecute those involved in hate speech. For Luntha News, this is Emmanuel Chuocha.
A current pace of MIP1 implementation will make the country realize the objective of the plan in 2045 beyond its target of 2030. This is contained in a presentation by National Planning Commission Director General Dr. Thompson Mutali, who taught the pillar and enabler coordinating groups for Malawi 2063 vision in Lilongwe that the country need to accelerate its efforts to meet the targets. Speaking during the opening of the meeting ahead of the Presidential Delivery Unit and Deputy Secretary to the President and Cabinet, Dr. Janet Banda asked the high-level meeting participants to search on the contribution towards realization of the MIP1 while bemoaning the tendency of government officials delegating their juniors and such crucial decision-making engagements. Robert Edward reports.
With the country's gross domestic product (GDP) per capita hovering around $600, but in a downward trajectory, coupled with the 33.3 inflation rate and less than a month foreign reserves, the situation is afflicting sufferings for Malawians, according to Director of Administration at the Ministry of Finance, Malambo Botomani. This is slowing progress. Efforts to achieve the Malawi 2063 vision first 10-year implementation plan MIP1, which according to head of Presidential Delivery Unit, who is also Deputy Secretary to the Office of the President Cabinet, Dr. Janet Banda, has a task of taking Malawi to a lower middle income country and achieve most of the sustainable development goals as key milestones. These sentiments were made during the PIRA and ENABRA Coordination Group meeting in Lilongwe on Tuesday, where Banda emphasized on the need for the every citizenry, including high-level decision makers in government, MDAs, non-state actors, and private sector who convened at the meeting to be asking oneself as to what they are doing to help in realizing the dreams.
The advantage of this meeting, so importance, is that they promote collaboration among MDAs. So by bringing all stakeholders together, you're able to identify the bottlenecks, the challenges that are there, the gaps, and come up with solutions as a team. And everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing after such meetings. At this point, I think we have made progress. And I think the challenges that have been there, most of them are beyond our control. It's to do with the economic environment that we are operating in at the moment, which is also global. It's not only for Malawi. Most of the challenges are geopolitical, socio-economic, basically caused by the previous challenges that we've had, like the El Niños, COVID, the war in Ukraine. So these are still having an impact on most economies in the world. So Malawi is no different.
This is a biannual meeting convened by National Planning Commission to review the implementation of the MIP1 so far. In his presentation, Director General for the Commission, Dr. Thomas Mutali, says the country will reach the 2030 MIP1 target 15 years later if the agriculture, tourism and mining ATM strategy will not incorporate manufacturing, saying the external and internal shocks and macroeconomic instability have, among others, contributed to the status quo despite some positives registered in the past 3 years of implementing MIP1, calling for acceleration of the efforts.
You see, when you're talking about our vision on inclusive wealth creation, you cannot talk wealth creation if the private sector is lagging behind. And so we were making the case that if there has to be some engagement with the private sector, those relevant institutions that engage the private sector entities need to have effective and candid engagement so that we're able to identify those bottlenecks that are preventing scaling up of investments, but also bringing in of new investments. If we do note that those exist, and that's why we're saying we're excited with the Presidential Delivery Unit head, the Deputy Secretary to the President Cabinet being around, because then we have to immediately troubleshoot those things. Otherwise, we are lagging behind a lot in terms of investments, and I think there's a number of reasons. The macroeconomic uncertainties in the economy, the laws that sometimes we are passing, some of the private sector players are not happy with. So we need to be able to question those things in a candid conversation with them to attract more private investments so that we can accelerate the economic growth and by extension quality of life of our Malawians.
Currently, according to Muntali, the country is stuck in a red scorecard line on first sustainable development goal of ending poverty, with at least over 70% of the population still living under poverty line, and on goal number 2 of zero hunger shows increased food insecurity compared to last year. The meeting, whose among other key stakeholders include USAID, will take place in Lilongwe until 9 October for the decision-making stakeholders to deliberate on the positives and the challenges. Robert Edward.
You are still watching news on Luntha television, coming to you live from our Bishop Navy Media Center in Area 2, Lilongwe. Now, do stick around as we'll be back shortly after the break.
Digital technology is taking over the world. Trends are changing every day. For the latest technology updates, reviews of tech gadgets, exclusive interviews with tech experts, and an interface with startup companies. Watch Inside Tech and catch every detail of the new trends in technology that will impact your life. Coming soon on Luntha television, bringing wisdom into your home.
Luntha Television stands as an autonomous faith-based broadcaster with a national and international reach. Experience the difference with Luntha Television, where innovation meets experience. Our dedicated team, backed by cutting-edge technology, ensures seamless execution and unparalleled results. Luntha guarantees credibility and professionalism in all its endeavors and services. We offer, among this, production and broadcasting of jingles, music videos, narratives, documentaries, press services and programs, on location or outside, live broadcasting of special programs, sponsored content, sports and entertainment, and advertising for small, medium and large enterprises. All services are offered at competitive prices. Tune in daily to catch Luntha Television on Zuko on Channel 51, Starsat Channel 474, Star Times Channel 474, Topstar 474, Kliye 007, GoTV on Channel 807, Azam on Channel 386, and live streams on our YouTube and Facebook platforms. You can find us in Area 2 Lilongwe or can reach us on 0883 815 055. Come, let us help you grow your business.
Welcome back. Now let's have a look at our top stories once more before we proceed. The Catholic Church leader, Pope Francis, offers October's prayer intention. Malawi Police Service cracks down on hate speech in the run-up to the 2025 elections. Malawi may miss MIP 1 implementation target at 2045. And in news from elsewhere, Rwanda reports 8 deaths linked to Marburg virus. Moving on, Ilovo Sugar Company has announced new increased prices for sugar starting today, the 1st of October 2024. In a statement released by the company, the price increase is due to several factors, including the rising cost of materials used in sugar production and the increased expenses associated with sugar distribution. The company announced that a 1 kg packet of brown sugar will now be sold at 2,600 kwacha, up from 2,300 kwacha, while a packet of white sugar will be priced at 2,950 kwacha, up from 2,600 kwacha. The Cross Borders Association protested in Lilongwe against the Malawi Revenue Authority's implementation of tax stamps, citing high cost. Secretary for the association, Frank Ziwane Mhango, expressed surprise that the MRA started enforcing the tax stamp despite an area agreement to pose it. The group says there are needed to be amendments before it was gazetted. Fales Chizombe reports.
In an interview with Luntha television, Hango emphasized that the association had previously agreed with the MRA to hold off on the tax stamp fee, making the sudden enforcement a concern. Hango explained supplies that the Malawi Revenue Authority had instructed its officers to start enforcing the tax stamp fee on products, despite an area agreement to pause the initiative. Hango noted that the tax stamp is hindering their operations as business persons.
We came here to meet our DC just because MRA have introduced tax stamps, whereby they're saying that each and every case, they need to put a sticker on each and every case. So we're saying, why were they doing this? Yet at the border there, we pay duty each and every case by case, we pay duty there. So we're saying, why are they introducing this? But before that, we went to Crossroads Hotel, we met them. They said, no, I think your grievances are reasonable. The goods, it won't be as decent as it is. It will be maybe some people, they can also put some contaminated things there. So this will also risk our people, they'll be buying from us.
The exercise tax stamps aims to control the consumption of unbranded and counterfeit products, ensuring the verification and authentication of product sources.
That has no authorized vaccine or treatment, like